Here's a hard truth. Maybe the toughest part of this whole deal is you. If you're out there teaching, preaching, or even just sharing what you believe with the world, you've got to live it. You can't just toss out some fancy words and then duck behind a curtain. No, do as I say, not as I do nonsense. That's a cop-out, and deep down we all know it. You've got to look yourself square in the eye, maybe in the bathroom mirror at 2 a.m. when the house is quiet, and say, I'm doing my best to walk this talk. It's not about being real. It's messy, it's raw, sometimes it's a stumble more than a stride, but that's where the good stuff starts kicking in. Because when you live what you stand for, when your actions match your words, people don't just hear you, they feel you. They see the truth in your sweat, your grit, And that's when the magic happens, when lives start shifting, including yours. Let's be honest, living up to what you claim isn't a cakewalk. It's a wrestle, a daily grind. I've had days where I wanted to fake it, to phone it in, to say one thing and do another because it's easy. But easy doesn't stick. Easy doesn't change anything. What sticks is the real deal, the moment you push through the muck and live it anyway. So let's dig into this together. How do we build a life that matters? A life that doesn't just echo in empty rooms, but lights up the dark corner. This isn't some fluffy TED Talk knockoff. This is personal. This is us. Stick with me. We're going deep, and I promise it's worth the ride. I've got this little trick I lean on when I'm lost, when the choices pile up and I don't know which way to turn. My Aunt May, she was this firecracker of a woman, all grit and grace. Gave me this old photo years ago. It's black and white, edges curling like they've seen 100 summers, and it's of her Sunday school group from way back. Picture it, a circle of ladies, maybe 10 or 12, decked out in those big church hats you see in old movies. Bibles clutched in their hands, faces serious but warm, like they've got secrets worth keeping. Whenever I'm stuck, maybe it's a work thing, a fight with a friend, or just one of those days where I'm second guessing everything, I pull that photo out of its little box, set it on the table, and stare at those women. There's this empty spot in the circle, right there in the frame, like it's waiting for someone. Waiting for me. And I ask myself, what would Aunt May do? What would she say if she were sitting in that empty chair right now? I can almost hear her voice, steady cutting through all my noise like a knife through butter. Baby girl, you know what's right. Just do right. That's it. No long lectures, no guilt trips, just those 3 words. Just do right. It's so simple it almost feels too small, but man, it lands heavy. Because doing right isn't about what's fast or what's flashy. It might not get you a quick win, might not stack your bank account overnight, but it'll settle your soul in a way nothing else can. It's my compass, that photo, those women, that voice. I don't have Aunt May here anymore. She's been gone a while, but she left me that, and it's enough. What's your compass? What's that thing you turn to when the world gets loud? Because we all... First things first, truth isn't always the easy road. It's not the shortcut that gets you applause or the path that lines your pockets quick. Truth real, honest truth, may not be expedient, may not be profitable in the moment, but it will satisfy your soul. It's like armor no bodyguard can match, a shield that keeps you standing when everything else falls apart. I learned that lesson the hard way, and it's a story I don't tell. A few years back, I had this gig marketing job, decent pay, cool office downtown, the kind of thing you brag about at family dinners. But something wasn't right. Behind the scenes, they were cutting corners, fudging numbers, promising stuff we couldn't deliver. I saw, and I could have stayed quiet, kept cashing the checks, kept my head down. Most people would. But every night I'd come home, pull out that photo of Aunt May's crew, and those faces would stare me down. I couldn't shake it, just do right. So I spoke up, called it out in a meeting, knowing full well it'd cost me. Sure enough, they didn't fire me outright. They just made it real clear I wasn't team material. I walked away, no backup plan, no savings cushion. Lost the gig, lost the paycheck, but you know what? That night I slept like a baby, first time in months. No tossing, no turning, just living right doesn't always feel good in the thick of it. It's gritty, it's tough, sometimes it leaves you broke or bruised. But it's the kind of peace that sticks, the kind that builds you up when the world tries to tear you down. What's your truth costing you right now? Whatever it is, time, comfort, or friendship, it's worth it. Trust me on that. When you live like that, when you put truth over convenience, people notice. They don't just clock your name or your face. They feel your heart beating through your choices. They'll know you, and they'll add their prayers to your life. They'll whisper behind your back, but in the good way. Oh, she's the real deal. Or man, I love that guy. God bless him. I saw it up close with my neighbor, Mr. Old dude lived in this beat-up house down the street. Paint peeling, porch sagging, barely scraping by on a fixed income. But every kid on the block knew he'd fix their bikes with duct tape and a smile, hand out candy from his pocket, sit there listening when they'd ramble about school or fights with their parents. Didn't have much, but he gave what he had. Then one day his roof caves in, big storm, water everywhere, disaster. Next morning the whole street shows up, guys with tools, moms with casseroles, kids with $5 they saved up. Why? Because Mr. Ray lived right and rippled out. He didn't ask for it, didn't expect it, but that goodness came back tenfold. That's how it works. You plant seeds with your life, and they grow into something you can't even predict. You want people cursing your name when it comes up. Oh, damn, not her again? Oh, she's so sweet, he's the best. Love so they light up. It's not rocket science, it's heart science, and it's the best kind of legacy you can build. Here's where it gets real. Take up the battle. It's yours, nobody else. This is your life, your world, your shot to make it better right where you're standing. Your block, your job, your little corner of the mess. Don't wait for some superhero to swoop in and fix it. You're the one with it. I think about my cousin Jay. He grew up in a neighborhood where hope was a rumor. No money, no mentors, just streets loud with trouble, gunshots at night, sirens on repeat. He could have coasted, kept his head low, survived. But he saw kids younger than him slipping into the same traps, drugs, fights, dead-end dreams, and it lit something in him. So he starts this little thing, nothing fancy, just him, a basketball and a patch of cracked asphalt. He'd shoot hoops with these teens, talk to them, really talk about school, about what they wanted, about dodging the chaos. One kid turns into five into a dozen. Now he's got a whole crew. Some are in college, some got jobs, all of them dreaming bigger than they ever thought they could. Jay didn't wait for a grant or a spotlight. He just started where he stood. That's the deal. You've got a piece of this world, a slice of the pie. Make it shine. Don't sit there thinking someone else will handle it. Nah, it's on you. It's not optional. It's yours. What's your bet? Pick it up today. Now take a second, slow down and look around. You see that guy on the corner with a cardboard sign? Dog curled up next to him, shivering in the wind? Or that girl hustling 2 jobs, sneakers worn down to the soles, bags under her arm? What's all the hurting, the hustling, the hoping about? Take time out. I met this kid named Sam a while back. Tattoos snaking up his arms, guitar slung over his shoulder, thumb out on I-95, chasing some dream he couldn't quite name. He was broke, beat, hadn't eaten anything but gas station chips in day. I pulled over, not proud, just human, sat with him at this greasy diner, split my fries, listened while he spilled his story. Didn't fix his life, didn't hand him a golden ticket, but he smiled. First time in days, he said, and it hit me hard. We're surrounded by people like Sam, folks walking barefoot in the rain, tripping on one-way trains to nowhere, and we've got to stop, see them care. Last month, I'm at the park, and there's this mom strolling. 2 kids, one screaming. She's juggling a phone in a diaper bag, looking like she's about to crack. I grab the stroller, push it a few steps, tell her, you're doing great. She exhales, says, thanks, I needed that. Didn't change the world, but it changed her minute. The world's bleeding, people are hurting, hiding, hoping, and we can't just scroll past it on X or flip the channel. Take time out. Ask the questions, what's this pain about? You don't have to solve it all. Just start seeing it. And here's the heart of it, the piece that ties it all together. Prepare yourself to be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud. That's not my line. It's from this old African-American song my grandpa used to hum. Something from the 19th century and it's pure gold. I've had clouds in my life, dark ones, heavy ones, the kind that block out the sun and make you wonder if it'll ever clear. Lost jobs, lost people, lost myself a few times. But I've had rainbows too. My mom with her quiet strength, my best friend who called just when I needed it, that random cashier at the gas station who grinned and said, "You've got this," on a day I was falling apart. They carried me when I couldn't carry myself. Now I try to carry others. Last week I'm at the grocery store, lines long, carts crashing, chaos. This lady's ahead of me, fumbling her bags, kids screaming, tears welling up in her eyes. She's dropping stuff, apologizing to nobody, and I can see she's drowning. So I grab a bag, steady it, crack a dumb joke about my own kid disasters. Tell her you're killing it, mama. She laughs, shaky, but real, and says, "Minute of my time." That's what I mean, be a rainbow. Doesn't have to be big, hold a door, share a sandwich, listen when someone's unraveling. I've got this coworker, Priya, she's shy, keeps to herself. One day she's stressing a deadline, so I bring her coffee, say we got. Now she lights up when I walk in. Small stuff, big waves. Prep yourself for that, it's the game changer. I think about my rainbows all the time. Folks long gone, folks still here. When I step into a meeting, when I write something I hope matters, when I'm just trying to get through a rough day, I bring them with me. My mom, my grandpa, that teacher who saw me when I was invisible, they're in my pocket cheering me on. And it hits me, we've all got clouds, different shapes, different storms, but we can all be rainbows too. That stranger in line, that kid on the corner, that friend who's quiet lately, be their light. That's how we flip the script, how we turn hurt into hope. Now let's level up. None of this works without courage. It's the backbone, the heartbeat, the most important piece of the whole puzzle. You can't be kind, fair, real, or generous without it. Not for long. Life's gonna throw curveballs, big ugly ones, and without courage, you'll duck, dodge, say too hard, too scary, I'm out. I think about folks like my old coach. Tough as nails, soft as a teddy bear. Guy fought cancer. Chemo every week, bones aching, still showed up to every game, cracking corny jokes, pushing us to dig deeper. "You've got more in you," he'd say, voice raspy but fierce. He wasn't some untouchable legend. He was just a guy with a big heart and bigger guts, showing up when it hurt. One game, we're losing bad, rain's pouring, crowd's gone. We're ready to quit. He pulls us in, says, "You don't win by walking off, you win by staying." We didn't win the scoreboard that night, but we won something else. Guts. He passed a year later, but that stuck. That's the deal. Courage makes you accessible, makes you human, makes you a leader. You don't have to be perfect, don't have to have all the answers. You just have to show up, even when your hands shake, even when the odds laugh in your face. We love building heroes into giants, flawless statues on pedestals. If they're too big, we think I can't touch that, can't be that. Truth is, the great ones laughed, cried, stumbled like us. Mr. Davis would have howled at being called a hero. I'm just stubborn, he'd say, grinning through the pain. And that's the spark we need. Courage isn't loud or flashy. It's steady, quiet, relentless. It's you saying, "I'll try again," when everything's screaming quit. It's you picking up that battle. Your battle when the easy road's right there. It's you being kind when it's risky, fair when it's messy, real when it's scary. That's where the world shifts. Right there in your shaky, brave yes. Without it, all the good intentions in the world just sit there collecting dust. With it, you're unstoppable. So here's your move, live it, lift. Start where you're standing. Your kitchen with the leaky faucet, your cubicle with the flickering light, your street corner with the cracked sidewalk, and make it better. Do right because it's right, not because it's easy or pays quick. Be a rainbow in somebody's storm, someone who doesn't look like you, doesn't talk like you, doesn't pray like you, or dance like you, or eat like you. Prep yourself for that every day, every chance, and lean into courage. It's your fuel, your fire, the thing that keeps the whole engine running. This isn't my world forever. I'll be out of here before you. Odds are dust and done, but it's yours right now. Shape it, fight for it, light it up. Think about it, you're not here by accident. You're not just floating through, clocking in and out. You've got a pulse, a voice, a shot. Don't waste it on regrets. Years of sitting still, playing small, letting fear call the shots. Pick up your piece of this wild, broken, beautiful world and make it sing. Because when you do, when you live what you teach, when you lift what's around you, people won't just see you, they'll feel you. They'll carry you in their stories, their prayers, their God blessers. That's a legacy worth leaving, not money or medals, but lives touched, clouds brightened. Let's get to it. You're ready. Step up, stand tall, shine bright. This is your time, your fight, your light. Live it, lift it now.